Let's kick things off talking about the Flail and Shield with the live staff. So we are going to be talking about the Flail abilities first. We have Arcane Smites, Arcane Vortex, and Trip. These are going to be the best 3 abilities to take. You can simply copy my tree here and skip ahead, or you can listen to the explanation of why we take these passives. Simply put, Arcane Smite has got to be one of the most overpowered abilities in this game, not because of the ability itself, but because of the perk that you can put on your weapon. So Burdening Smite is going to increase everybody's cooldowns by 35%. As long as Smite hits, and 35% is a large percentage, especially when considering most abilities in this game are very, very high cooldown, such as Gravity Wall. I believe it's like 28-second cooldown. You know, Beacon is like 27-second cooldowns, and if you hit a Smite on someone that used those abilities, they are going to have their cooldown increased by 35%, probably tied with the #1 most broken ability in the game. Flailing's ability is going to cleanse everybody in a 3-meter radius, as well as give them crowd control immunity up to 5 seconds, depending on how much focus you have. And lastly, Trip, of course, just because the utility is so good with the knockdown. Now, since this is a battle paladin build, we do get some use out of Better Together because we will be in our Flail a lot of the time. Now, I don't think this perk is necessarily good, and AGS did say that they were looking at the healing side of the Flail. For the life staff, we have one of my favorite small-scale PvP builds. It's going to be Divine's Embrace, Sacred Ground, and Beacon with a little twist. This is not your standard Beacon group healer build. We have Enchanted Justice and Balance here on the right side of the Protector side tree, as well as Speed of Light. Now, I am a big haste fanatic. I love haste in this game. I love moving fast. It makes me feel like I'm just insane. And in small scale PvP, we don't really get use out of Intensify or perks like Protector's Touch because we're not going to be in our life staff a lot of the time. We are mostly going to be in our Flail, causing havoc and wreaking massive damage, especially with a key Heartrune that you might have saw at the beginning of this video. If you want to run a more traditional build, you can simply just run the standard group healer Beacon build that you have been running for the longest time. This is what it's going to look like. Before talking about the attributes and the gear and everything else, I wanted to mention one quick thing that is very important, and that is going to be your shield choice. We have either the round shields or the kite shields. Now, what is the difference between the two? Let's check real quick. It's going to be under the Arcane Smite ability. We have the perk called Ironclad Superiority. Round shield Smite is going to deal 20% more base weapon damage, and the kite shield is going to allow Smite to stagger on hits. You can run the round shield for more damage, but the kite shield will always be infinitely more better for utility, and that is why we are going to be talking about only the kite shield in this build guide today. Now, to finish off this video, we are going to be using the nw-buddy.de website. It's going to have the attributes that we just talked about, all of the armor perks, the equip loadout, the consumables we want to take, the buffs that we want to take, all of the armor pieces and the jewelry, as well as the weapons, shield, and Heartrune. So I just glossed over that really quickly, so you probably didn't see anything. So let's quickly go up and talk about it from the top. So the attributes, once again, 100 strength, 150 con, the rest focus. The perks here on the side, we want to have 4 refreshing as always. We want to have 5 health. We want to have as much enchanted ward and defensive perks as possible. So let's talk about those on the armor here today. So the first piece that you can go out and farm or craft yourself is going to be the Empress Zhao's Crown. It comes with health refreshing, and the third perk that you want to put on it is going to be enchanted ward. Of course, the featherweight, it comes with refreshing physical aversion and makes this armor weightless, which allows you to wear the kite shield. You want to put health on this. The health mods are extremely expensive, but they are a good investment for your PvP journeys. For the gloves and the legs, since we only want to cap out at 4 refreshing, it's going to allow us to put on some defensive perks. Of course, health enchanted ward, always the best 2 perks to take in light armor, and the third perk we are going to take is going to be thrust conditioning. Bows, spears, blunderbusses, you know, thrust conditioning is just insanely strong right now. For the legs here, we have health enchanted ward and shirking energy. Shirking energy can be replaced by any defensive perk of your choosing. For the feet on the left side, we have the Empress Zhao's embroidered shoes. choose with health, refreshing, and fortifying sacred grounds. Fortifying sacred ground is going to be the best perk to put on your armor always. Putting it on the weapon has a negligible fortify increase. I know a lot of people in my comments have been asking why I do not use fortifying sacred ground on my weapon, and that's because you only get 6% more fortified by putting it on your weapon. For the amulet, we have the Tanglevine amulet, health, thrust protection, and stamina recovery. Once again, the most broken perk in this game. For the ring, we have the mithril ring of the sage. Hardy, sacred are going to be the two mandatory perks that you want to take. And we have two options here. We can either take healing breeze, or we can go ahead and take refreshing. Now, why would you take refreshing compared to healing breeze? Well, if you take refreshing on the ring, it's going to allow you to open up a refreshing piece on your armor. So you can exchange out a refreshing piece on your armor for another enchanted ward or thrust conditioning, etc. Now, the earring, we have the life loop. It comes with refreshing toast and healthy toast. You can put regenerating on it. If you have been farming the life ring earring, which we can show here, this is the earring that I recommended in my last guide videos, and it is pretty much the exact same thing as life loop, but the difference is that life loop you can go ahead and craft at the gypsum kiln or farm easily in the dungeon of Ennead. Now, for the weapons, we have the life wool channeler life staff. This is going to be just your general overall S+ tier life staff. It comes with bless, refreshing divine embrace, and refreshing move. Let's take some time to actually deep dive into the flail and shield that we have chosen in today's video and talk about the mandatory perks and why we have chosen them. So the mandatory perks for the flail, of course, is going to be burdening smite and plague strikes. These are the two mandatory perks that you must have on your flail build if you run trip. We will explain why in a little bit here, but moving on to the shield, we have refreshing move and refreshing. Counterattack can be changed to a third perk of your choosing, but since we are playing a more offensive focused build, the 30% in power after blocking with the Kite shield actually does add up over time. And lastly, of course, enchanted on the flail. I have been doing a lot of theory crafting with the flail and shield, and since the healing on the flail is not that good, I have just decided to go for a pure damage build. That's why you see the opal here in the flail. For a healer that still is able to heal as well as DPS, there is really no better option than the flail and shield. The void gauntlet also is quite good, and that will be coming in a future video, but as of right now, the offensive paladin build is insanely overpowered in 3v3 as an outpost rush, especially with friends. If you have ever played against a primal fury or used it yourself, you know how strong this thing is. This is not a joke Heartrune. This is actually one of the best Heartrunes to run right now, especially with this build. We will be talking about some of the combos that you can do with this Heartrune, but simply put, you want to run this Heartrune. You are going to turn into a giant beast and start slapping fools for about 2,500 to 3,000 damage. And the upgrade that you want to take for this Heartrune is going to be the Cunning Heartrune of the Primal Fury, and that's going to allow you to gain Grit while in a beast form, which is the Unstoppable Rage perk here on the bottom left. The flail has a lot of auto attack animation cancels that you need to master. So what I mean by that is pretty much you want to auto attack before an ability always. So keeping that in mind that we want to auto attack before every flail ability, let's talk about a very bread and butter combo that you want to do. So the first thing we are going to do is auto. The next thing we are going to do is trip, and the next thing we are going to do is auto, and then after that auto we are going to cast our smites. So once again, we're going to auto attack, trip, auto attack, smite, and now the smite is going to actually hit the target if they dodge after the trip. If they double dodge, however, it will not hit, but this combo is about 500% weapon damage. So another cool thing to know is that you can always do 180 heavy attack. So if you charge a heavy attack halfway, you could turn around at the last portion of the auto attack and get that hit off. You can do the same thing with smite, and you can do the same thing with trip. So if you want to be really flashy, you can always do these 180 tricks. I would not recommend it a lot of the time, except for the smite one. The smite one is very useful. For the life staff combos, you always just want to toss beacon before sacred. There's really nothing else to talk about there. And don't forget to always fight in your sacred grounds. Now for the best combo that you want to do, you can incorporate the Primal Fury Heartrune, and that's going to be the auto attack trip into the Heartrune auto attack. And at this point, you just want to go to town and pretty much get to work. That's about it for me. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave it down in the comments below. And if the video helped you or you like the build, don't forget to leave a like or a subscription. It really does help the channel. And as always, thank y'all for watching, and peace, baby. Ooh, I almost fell off. Look on BB here. Oh, can you trap after my my thing? And I'm trolling. My sweep?
Yeah, I'll look for it.
That's pretty cool. Come here, boy.
No.
Oh. Oh!
You can hit pierce. Your shots are piercing, so you can get collabs.
Huh?
You didn't know that?
No? What the fuck did they change? What am I missing?
Oh my fucking god! I just got. I know. Trapper feels so good.
Can you
Oh, yeah.
bomb in the trap instantly?
Nah, there's like a little animation.
Okay. Fucking grit. Fucking grit, loser.
Yeah, nade does like 8k damage, bro. That's so fair. And supposed to be 150 car. Oh, it's less, right? Less.
Thank you.
Flail, dude.
Oh my!
That fucking nade damage, bro.
That AoE damage is crazy.
Dude, double trapping is the most fucked up thing, bro.